Today I'm traveling to Elkton, Maryland, inside the expansive Fair Hill Equestrian Training Facility, to meet up with search and rescue dog handlers Lisa Kakavas and Heather Baumgartner of the Mason-Dixon Search Dogs organization. Their dogs, Noble, a German Shepherd, and Huck, a Labrador Retriever, are trained to find a very particular smell. The smell of death.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good.
Nice to meet you
too. Carter.
Heather.
Lisa.
Heather, Lisa. Nice to see you guys.
You too.
The smell of decomposing human flesh is different than the smell of other organic matter that may be decomposing. These dogs have to be able to smell a single drop of human blood in a 10-acre field and then notify their handler.
On the training side, what are you working with?
So known is what we're doing now, where we're going to set up and we're going to work it so we know where the sources are.
And sometimes we will throw blank areas
Yes.
into our training day because that's just as valuable as well to see how they behave in a completely
Absolutely.
blank sector.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And we'll throw distractions in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Today with Huck, what do you think you'd like to train? Like, what do you want to push for?
So we had this problem with Huck before. So we always try to set these guys up for success, right? We want them to be successful at training. As you know, as a dog trainer, when you start to run into little glitches, he has no problem locating odor. He knows his job, but when you start overthinking, okay, I'm having these little hitches, then you get into your own head.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like days like this, where I can work at known and be like, okay, now let's break this down.
You're going to try to find a problem set that allows you to train on a quick reward, right?
Yeah.
They have various human remains type sources. Some of them are fluid, some of them are solids, some of them are on tissue. So what they're going to do is decide which one they're looking to train on today. And then we're going to go out together and find some good spots to hide those items so that we can start training.
For me, I already kind of talked about, there is
That tree.
in the open field over the hill that way.
Okay.
That I would like to put a source in to get a really nice elevated
Yeah.
problem, and I would like that to set out for a while for my problem.
Yeah.
So that I've got good disbursement of odor.
What kind of source are you using?
I was going to use the bat with the
okay.
fluid on it.
That's a good one.
It's a plastic bat.
It's a
Plastic
Halloween decoration
But
bat.
I like it because it kind of blends into the environment, so the dogs don't necessarily always have a visual. They can get into having visuals of things.
So when we put sources out, they're a lot of times in some sort of container. We will also train our dogs to proof off of those containers, so they understand it's not glass jar plus target odor. It's target odor, the glass jar is irrelevant. So these are pieces of flesh that are wrapped in clearly an orange rag and then wrapped with like screening material. These are just fluids.
Wow. Yeah.
And then this is old and dried up, but fat and flesh. So
Holy smokes.
yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of it's serious, man.
It is, absolutely. It is
Very
absolutely
serious.
Yeah.
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 That part of it's not very fun.
No.
No.
Like the real end goal.
But
what you're
it's
looking for
it's
is,
necessary. Yeah, absolutely. But we do it because there's a need, and this is one of the things like you just kind of work past to know that you're training a dog for a real purpose and to hopefully bring somebody home.
Aside from the absolutely abysmal weather, this place is awesome. There are hundreds of acres of fields, miles of woodland trails, and even stone ruins of an old barn where they can train.
That's
what I'm
so
thinking.
cool, those doors.
Oh,
like,
aren't they? Yeah,
We
they're
love
really
it
cool.
here. So we know before this tree created a really awesome scent picture.
Yes, it does.
With this wall here.
Yeah.
And that wall.
Do you want to use this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
There's so many nice little grooves in this tree.
Like this little nook back
There,
in
yeah,
here.
yeah.
and-
There's so many places, and what's cool about it is the scent just has so many places to go,
Yeah.
and so many places to get trapped. So it ends up being a really cool scenting problem.
Man. Is there anything that you are like, don't do? You're like, oh, I would never put a thing. Obviously, you don't want to get the dog hurt, but.
Yeah. I would maybe once in a dog's lifetime, if ever, do something like way up high on that wall, the top of that wall. It's just, where is the dog gonna hit? You know, like I'm forcing my dog to choose a scent pool because he can't access source.
Can't get close to it.
So, but then when he's working other areas, he's not allowed to indicate on a scent pool.
Right. What like real life situation would we be trying to simulate?
So a lot of times what we set up aren't necessarily real life. It's more teaching the dog how to work through odor to a source. But you could have someone up in the tree hanging, or for whatever reason, you could have something that happened and there could be
Tissue
or
some
blood or whatever on the tree.
Right.
There could have been an accident or suicide, and that could have ended up in the tree.
Or maybe even less, of the less nefarious variety, somebody could have been injured here, and then might be close. But,
Yes,
right?
yep, absolutely.
And your dog would still hit on that, just like old
Yep.
blood.
Yep.
or
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Still blood or tissue there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, I could tuck it. That would be
I was gonna
really
say
hard.
that's like a.
That would be really hard to tuck it behind there. That would be tough. I wonder how or where it would come out.
I don't know, but it would be cool to find out. And there's a hole on this side, so I wonder if it's just gonna loop around and come out.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Wonder which side they'll catch it on.
Please don't let anything be living in here.
Oh God.
So if you're going to use multiple sites, like a couple different areas of scent, how close are they going to be? Like, what's that going to look like for the dog?
So we will set up overlapping odors sometimes, or converging odors. So these are different odors, but the odor
Okay.
pools can converge, and we expect our dogs to understand, you found that one, there's something else, keep working. And they're able to make that differentiation. And they will always try to go back to the one that they had success with, because, you know,
Because they know where
want,
it is. They're gonna go
yeah,
back and get
and they
paid.
want their reward again. It's part of training to say, okay, I'm not getting rewarded on this one anymore. Let me see what else is out here.
Let's get closer. Yeah. What a boy. Very good.
It's pretty cool. We've got multiple hides set up with a few different sources, liquids and tissue, each showing a different scenario that could be more or less challenging to each dog.
Wait. That was so good.
When you go out in like a real life situation and you're going to go actually use your dog, deploy your dog on a search, what's that look like in terms of setting up sectors? Who are you talking to? Like, who sets that up? Like, you get like a bat signal goes out.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
you're just
from
like,
above.
the search and rescue dog symbol is in the sky?
So we work with responsible agencies, which in Maryland is primarily Maryland State Police or Natural Resources Police. There are also local jurisdictions who will also call if there is a need for canine resources. If they have a small area, they might only need a couple of dogs, so they might just call one team, see what they can fill with that.
What's a small area?
A small area might be like they have a house they want to clear, or a backyard, or a small part of a park, like a 10 to 20 acre area.
That's small.
That's small.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, yeah.
What's a big area?
It depends on what you're searching for. A big area could be 10 acres, a big area could be 80 acres. If it's like a 5-year-old cold case, you don't want an 80-acre sector because you're most likely looking for skeleton eyes. Even if they were surface when they died, over that amount of time, you're going to have leaf litter and soil on top of them.
Scavengers.
So, yeah, scavengers,
all sorts of-
absolutely. So it could be disarticulated. So all of those
What's that
factors.
Scavengers
Articulated.
coming in
Yeah,
and,
so
and
not a full
removing
skeleton.
parts of the bones,
Yeah. So
relocating.
yes. Yeah.
Got it. What are some of the things that, because your dog is trained for this type of thing, that you'll be like, I treat my dog differently than a normal pet dog or something like that? Like maybe things you don't let him do or things that you have to make sure he does.
I mean, quite honestly, I don't know about you, but Huck sleeps in bed with me. He's, he's really like my pet. He's part of my family.
Yeah.
There's not really anything that I don't let him do. Really, he lives a normal life, I would say.
Yeah. It's just a personal preference, but my dog is my pet at home. But I would argue that our dogs probably get way more stimulation, mental and physical exercise, than most pets do, just because of the work that they do and the amount of training that we do with them.
My personal belief is that there's definitely no greater relationship
Yeah.
than somebody who, like a true dog and handler team
Yeah.
in any variety. And I preach to my apprentices and to clients and whatever, like if you want to really do this, find something to compete in, find
Yes.
something to work in,
Yes.
find a hobby, find a club, push
Yeah.
it, right? If you really want to do it.
Yeah.
What do you think that, like, average people that you talk to, like, somebody you meet at work or something that has just like their dog at their house, what do you think they're missing?
Exercise
and
and
mental
mental stimulation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
And the best way to tire out a dog is to work their brain.
Right.
Yeah. If somebody wasn't, say, as committed, they're like, I'm not going to commit to being a search and rescue trainer, but I have the same type of dog that they're going to see you guys working.
Yeah.
Are there games, things like that, that you would suggest
Absolutely.
that they played, like with their dog, that kind of
Yeah.
elicited similar kind of
Yeah.
focus?
Absolutely. You could take a favorite toy of the dog and hide it around the house and turn that into a game.
Yeah.
You can even I used to do that when I was starting some obedience training with Noble, where I would put him in a sit. I would take his toy, I would go somewhere in the house and I would hide the toy. So I was encouraging the sit, and then I was rewarding it with the search. And it was a fun game for him. He was using his nose, he was doing obedience, and he was having a good time. Because a lot of times stairs are forgotten as part of a search.
And doorways.
And doorways.
Stairs and doorways.
Yeah.
Why a doorway? Why is it?
People just, for whatever reason, you go into a room, you just kind of blow through
They
the
see
doorway.
it
You
as
don't
they
think
see it
about
as a portal,
Yep.
but they don't think about, bloody hand on a
People
doorknob,
touching the doorknobs,
or
people
the-
touching the door frames.
I
frames.
wasn't
Yep.
thinking about it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to find in the
Yeah.
doorway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hands.
Same
Hands
thing with
touching it.
stairs. You could have drops, you could have smear as you're dragging something down.
Yeah.
But a lot of people see stairs like, oh, I just need to get from here to there. So I would literally take a handful of food and just throw it up the stairs and tell my dog to get it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he learned to search a pattern.
What kind of obedience is necessary to, say, work in this kind of environment?
So we have an emergency stop command,
Okay.
downstay.
The emergency stop is a downstay?
No.
No, it's just a stop. They can sit, they can down, they can just freeze, stay put.
What's the word you use?
For Huck, it's wait.
Okay.
And he will immediately freeze and be like, yes, can I help you?
What would you use that for?
If they're approaching a road,
Okay.
for instance, obviously the recall.
Yeah.
Confined space.
Yeah.
Just making sure that the dog can travel with you in, say, the passenger
Yeah.
seat of a car with
Yeah.
the dog in front of you,
Yeah.
and be
Okay.
calm in case you need to be, taken to your search sector, driven back.
But, they have to be able to do figure eights and healing with you,
Oh, yeah.
with other dogs as like posts.
So that's part of their
obedience
Yeah, we want to
test.
make sure they're not dog aggressive or people aggressive.
Yep.
The training that we do is attempting to hit every single piece of that spectrum with our dogs, from very weak odor to very strong odor, very large to very small, and everything in between.
I think that any of the things that dogs are really incredible at are things that are innately or intrinsically motivating and rewarding to them anyway.
Yeah. We're refining their natural abilities and using them to our purpose. I think that if you have the good genetic makeup in the dog, whether it's a pure breed or a mutt, doesn't matter. If it's there, it's there. If they have that ability to hunt and that desire to hunt, we're just telling them what odor is going to get you the reward. When I start my dogs as puppies, I will start with food, because that's a primary reinforcer, and I'll make it like, it's not their kibble, it's like high value treats. And I'm just reinforcing notes to source, teaching them this is the odor that pays. While as they, grow up and develop teeth, then I'm building the toy play.
Do you ever do like scent wall or boxes?
We have done, yeah. So we'll do lineups. We'll do motivational problems where we just have like a couple of things, on the ground, and the dog can kind of pick and choose, where it's lots of fun.
One of the things I thought was pretty cool was to see both of the dogs work the same problems.
Mm-hmm. Dogs do work differently, but there are also a lot of similarities in the way that they work. Odor is going to present wherever odor presents, and that has nothing to do with the dogs. The differences are in terms of where the dog is able to source the odor, and then work that to the actual source of the training aid. I don't necessarily think it's breed dependent, but you do see certain breeds working similarly versus others. It's also just independent characteristics of each dog.
A lot of German Shepherds in search and rescue in general are labs like the next choice, or are they like the next most common?
I don't know. I think that the common breeds you'll see are going to be the herding breeds, the Shepherds, the Belgians, the Border Collies, and then I think labs are a great choice too. A lot of people are working labs as well. But there's so much diversity, and I think a lot of that is up to the handlers. That's a personal choice.
Do you have a why for like why German Shepherds or why Malinois might be the number one choice, or like what's the real reason behind that?
Great drive, great stamina, intelligent.
Working breeds.
Yep. Easily trainable.
I would have guessed that there would also be some more like with hunting background dogs, but like are people using German Shorthair pointers?
Yes.
Are people using
different
dogs like that, Vizslas, something to go out and search?
Yeah.
I mean, those dogs can cover
Lots
some
of ground.
serious ground.
Yeah. I know a few people who work the GSPs, and they're really, really good dogs.
You need a dog that has drive. You need a dog that has stamina. I think whether it's a hunting breed dog or a herding dog, you just have to figure out a way to kind of funnel that energy and utilize it for the job that you're trying to do.
I think both Noble and Huck work that well. It's always interesting to set up problems with a goal in mind and expect the odor to do something, but you don't really ever know until you get out a dog and work it.
Yep.
If you have a new dog that you're starting in search and rescue, say you're going to do it for human remains, what's the starting point? What's that look like?
So for Huck, for example, he started when he was 12 weeks old, and all the puppies really, they start the same way. It's basically sources in jars, human decomposition in jars, and they get rewarded for nose on source. And that's the basic start of all of it. The payment is putting your nose on the source. So every time the nose gets on the jar, they get rewarded for it, and they learn that that's their job.
When the dog understands target odor, you can start instead of putting a jar in a lineup, you are maybe putting it behind a
Circle
rock or
around.
something.
Yeah. Change it up a little bit.
I'm a big proponent of self-discovery with dogs. So I'll do a lineup and then walk the dog downwind, and I want them, because they're naturally curious animals. So, they're going to be like, hey, what's that? And then, hey, that pays you. So I'm already setting them up for air scenting as well.
Why do you really do this?
For me, I do it because I wanted to find a way to have a job with my dog that could also benefit the community. So a way to give back, basically.
Cool.
Selfishly, I just really love watching dogs work, and I love working with my dog. And the added benefit is that I'm able to help the community and hopefully bring someone home. It's not a club. It's not a hobby. Mm-mm. It's a vocation. We are unpaid professionals. So we take this very, very seriously.
One of the coolest parts to me is the community aspect and the fact that all these people are involved, everybody wants the same thing, and it gives everyone a sense of purpose, including being able to do something with your dog that also is good for the world.
Yes. It does take a village, yep.
Right.
And we also depend on each other. When we go out on a search, we have flankers from our team, we might have flankers from another team, and we all just have to trust that everyone is going to be professional, everyone is trained well and capable and qualified to go out there and do their job. And we all work together, we all come together as one. It's not anything about any team there, we're there representing all volunteers are.
All the same mission.
Yep. Bring home the missing.
I was so impressed by the different dogs and their ability to solve the same problems, even though they went about it very differently. I loved seeing the commitment. It's nasty outside today, legitimately terrible weather, but they are here, ready to work, and they aren't stopping until they're done training. It doesn't matter that it's uncomfortable, because they have something to accomplish. Their passion fuels them. The greater good and their sense of service to their community means that this is not just a hobby. It's truly important, and it's incredible that they are here to do this work and that the dogs make it all possible. I had a really good time.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
That was
really
fun.
Great
Thank
seeing
you.
The dogs work. I liked it, and it is something. Everybody I meet that's an expert at something. Everybody I meet that knows more about something than me, I'm like, how about more? Can I get some more? Can you, all right, tell me some more stuff. So, no, I really appreciate that, and you guys have been excellent, and very hospitable.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
appreciate it very much.
Yeah.